50,000 has to flow through pipe N and P. M has to feed both of them. 100,000. Okay, L and H, the unit heaters, 200,000 each. Okay, so as I go on to this one right here, K, it's going to be 100,000 plus 200,000, so that's going to be 300,000. Okay, pipe J only has to handle the duct furnace at 400,000. Pipe I has to handle everything, the 300,000 and the 400,000, so 700,000. Okay, again, pipe H only has to supply itself, and pipe G has to supply everything on the low pressure side, so you are looking at 900,000 BTUs. Everybody good so far? Okay. So our regulator does not decrease the flow, it decreases the pressure. So if 900,000 BTUs has to come out of the regulator, 900,000 BTUs has to go into the regulator. That's on the high pressure side. I'm going to start down here because it's easy, 5 mil and 10 mil, or 5 mil and 5 mil is 10 million BTUs. Okay, so pipe C and D, pipe E is going to be the same thing, 10 million BTUs. Okay, and pipe B has to handle all the high pressure boilers, so that's going to be 20 million. Okay, and pipe A has to supply gas to everything, so it's 20 million plus 900,000, so 20 million, 900,000. Okay, everybody good? Okay, only took me maybe a minute and a half to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to do the high pressure side, because I'd like to start with the high pressure side firstly. High pressure side, longest measured run from the supply of that 10 pounds to the appliances that use that 10 pounds. So I got 10, I got 20, I got 40, I got 90 feet. 90 feet. Okay, everybody good? Okay. So now I'm going to go and find the proper table of 10 PSI. And that is going to be table A6. Okay, and I've got my tape. So anyways, so I'm going to use table A6, going to read it, maximum capacity of natural gas, thousands of BTUs, yes, schedule 40 pipe, and 10 pounds pressure, so that is going to be table A6. Okay, longest measured run is 90 feet, so I'm going to stay on that longest measured run. 20,900,000, I go across and I get 2 inches. Okay, pipe F, 900,000 BTUs, that can be a ½ inch. 20 million BTUs go across 90 feet, equal to or greater than, that's going to be 2 inches. Okay, 10 million BTUs go across and it can drop down to 1.25 inches and 1.25 inches. Okay, so that part of it's done. So that's my starting point. So between the supply of that gas to the furthest appliance, there's only one fitting that changes the direction, which is an elbow. And our initial sizing says that that elbow is 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so that elbow is 1 1/4 inches. And equivalent length in straight pipe.
3.45 or 4.2.
Okay, that would be 1 1/4 inches. And it is, okay, 1.05 feet. 1.05 feet. So that's going to give me this plus this. So my adjusted longest measured run. Yeah.
Is it 3.45?
Is it 3 point? I think I'm looking at the method. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was looking at metric. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, so if I look at Imperial on page 145, it is 3.45.
I'd like to, do it too.
3.45, so I add the longest measured run, plus the fitting, and I have 93.545 feet, and that's the new adjusted longest measured run. So I have to do everything all over again based on the 100-foot column for the length of pipe. So now I have to go from the 90 to the 100 to account for that fitting. And if I go across there, you're gonna find that nothing has changed. Okay, everybody good? So now on the low pressure side, we're gonna go to table A2. So on the low pressure side, from the 7 to 14 inches that comes out of here to the furthest appliance. So the low pressure, okay, is going to be 20, 25, 50, 70, I think that's 80 feet. Okay, so, okay, 20, 25, 50, 70, and 80. Okay, so low pressure, 80 feet, longest measured run. Make sure I'm on the right table, maximum capacity natural gas, schedule 40, and it is a, got the Imperial. So table A2, I'm on the right table, 80 feet, longest measured run. So now I look at G, 900,000 BTUs, and 900,000 BTUs is at 80 feet, has to be 2 inches. Okay, I has to be 700,000 BTUs, 1.5 inches. Okay, 300,000 BTUs, 1.25 inches. 100,000 BTUs. 3/4 and 50,000 BTUs, ½ inch. Okay, unit heaters are 200,000 BTUs apiece, so they're going to be 1 inch and 1 inch. Duct furnace, 400,000 BTUs, 1.25 inches. Okay, and we're done.
Is that the little U pod, the little U? Your son?
Okay,
Is he
everybody
through Lego
good?
with the ceiling fans yet?
Okay.
Is he through Lego with the, he will go.
In time.
Okay, so let's just make sure we got what we're supposed to have.
Our LMR was 90 feet. That elbow changed.
What about the, so on the low side, can an elbow
So you add that now, your LMR.
Okay, so before I go any further, okay, make sure everything is on eLearn, all your module test answers, and the four quizzes that we did instead of a module test for add-on devices, humidifiers, electronic air cleaners, stuff like that, air handling units as well, domestic appliances, non-vented domestic appliances, and gas-fired refrigerators. Okay, make sure you check that. A lot of it wasn't on this test. Okay, but make sure you go and review that. Okay, don't just concentrate on some of this large stuff, because there's enough questions on those 4 modules. Okay, that if you miss quite a few of them, you're going to be kind of close to, you know, not getting the 75%. So, you know, make sure you go and you check that on eLearn if you don't have the handouts, or you don't, or for whatever reason you need to check on those. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
With the air cleaners?
Okay.
You sure?
So you're pretty well almost guaranteed a diagram that looks like this, similar layout, similar, asking the questions about pipe sizing. Okay, so you need to brush up, now is the time to do it. Okay, so number 1, pipe A, 2 inches. Pipe B, 2 inches. Okay, pipe C, question 3, 1.25 inches. 4, pipe F, 1/2 inch. Question 5, pipe G, 2 inches. Question 6, pipe H, 1 inch. Move that up a bit. 7, I is 1.5 inches. 8, pipe J is 1.25 inches. 9, pipe K is 1.25 inches. M, question 10 is 3/4. Pipe 11, pipe P is 1/2 inch.
11%.
Everybody good with that?
How did I get the one wrong?
I got 4.
Required pipe size for
Okay, so we'll go on with the rest of them.
it's probably just filling it in.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, 12, infinity, or OL, ohmmeter reading taken across a disconnected wire so the solenoid or relay coil indicates that the coil wire is broken. Okay, open winding. 12 is C. 13A, a good pilot generator should produce what voltage? 750 millivolts, DC. 14, power pile systems are advantageous because they can provide heat during power outages because they do not need any external power. They produce their own. As the diameter of a wire increases, its resistance decreases. 16, to determine if either of the main fuses in a residential electrical panel has blown, connect one voltmeter probe to D, load side of the first main fuse, and the other probe to the load side of the second main fuse. 17, a 240 volt power supply for a residential electrical circuit is taken from the load side of one branch circuit breaker and the load side of the second branch circuit. Cubic feet, and the input of our appliance is 50,000 BTUs, and we go across until we get 2,000, and it says that we need 7 square inches. That's on page 86. Okay? An exhaust, 62, have an open limit switch, C.
Fuck these ones up.
63, okay, you have a open winding in the gas valve coil, A.
I thought it was fucking.
64, if the combustion air inlet of a category 4 furnace gets plugged, which control shuts off the burner, the vent pressure switch? 65, when is it permissible to store a propane cylinder in the basement? Never. 65 is B. 66, when is it permissible to vent a category 4 furnace into the same chimney or vent as a water heater? It is never allowed, so 66B. 67, a customer complains of an unusual noise from the furnace. There's 24 volt solenoid valve working but humming. Okay, problem is a low voltage going to the solenoid valve. 68, the external bypass valve on a pool heater is set by determining the temperature rise across the appliance. So even though they don't tell you it's a pool heater, okay, it can be a hot water heater as well. Okay, they can have external bypasses as well, and that is used to balance out the temperature rise across an appliance. 69, there's a storage type of system. So you got a hot water boiler. The boiler is hot, the circulating pump motor is running, and the thermostat is calling for heat, and the upstairs is cool. Okay, the problem is the pump is running, but the impeller is not, and it's not circulating water, so it's because a broken pump coupler. 70, if the thermostat heat anticipator is set too low, the space temperature will be too low, because it'll cycle the burner. 71, the maximum operating pressure of a low-pressure steam boiler, 15 pounds. 72, when a seasonal startup, the pool heater should run continuously until the thermostat is satisfied. 73, what type of vent must be used when the vent of a wall furnace will be concealed in a partition wall? BW vent, 73D. 74, dirt pockets required on none of the available choices. You only need dirt pockets on water heaters, boilers, and furnaces. 75, 5 boilers with draft diverters are to be installed in an enclosed room. The volume of the room is 15,000 cubic feet. The input for each boiler is 30,000. Okay, what size of feed air opening
Fuck
is
that, eh?
required? So that's over 400,000 BTUs. Okay, so you got 5 boilers and they are 300,000 BTU each. Okay, doesn't matter what the cubic foot of the room is, you still need an opening to the outside. Okay, everybody good with that? Okay, so over 400,000. You all have draft diverters, so you just go 5 times 300,000. For the first million, it is divided by 7,000 BTUs. For the remaining BTU, it is divided by 14,000. Add them together.
Huh?
Okay, 76. Water heater with a draft diverter is to be connected to a type B vent. Now, I have my suspicions that this might be from an older code book. So we've got a water heater with a draft diverter. So let's draw a picture on our scrap piece of paper. Water heater with a draft diverter. Okay, and it's connected to a type B vent stack by itself. The height is 11 feet, so we got B vent. And it is 11 feet. Input is 50,000 BTUs. The stack is connected directly to the water heater without a lateral run, so it goes straight out. Determine the vent size and maximum input of that vent if the house is new and has a dryer, bathroom fan, and a range hood. So you know that the house is depressurized.
Fucking punch that guy.
Okay, and it's 50,000 BTUs.
Oh, yeah,
Bring
yeah.
up that table. So what table should we be on for this?
What did you get? Some assets.
This is for what, 7?
Okay. So we should be on table C1, because capacity of a double wall vents and double wall vent connectors, so it's B vent all the way up. Okay, 50,000 BTUs, the height is 11 feet. Okay, no lateral because it goes straight up, so do we use 10 feet or 15 feet?
15.
So we use the 10 foot, and we go across to natural and depressurized.
You don't go up?
Pardon me?
You don't go up to 15?
For gas, you go down, for oil, you go up. Worst case scenario. Shouldn't really make much of a difference, but anyways, so we're going across, and we've got 4 inches of vent, and we've got 79. So 4 and 79. So 4-inch vent, and it can handle 79,000 BTUs. Everybody good?
I didn't know you did.
Cubic feet an hour didn't matter.
Okay, so 4 inches. CFH, what's CFH stand for? Cubic feet per hour? So they say 79 cubic feet per hour, well, they're talking about 79,000 BTUs. Okay, so be careful, I have seen that question on the test, so just like the oil, TSSA has a test bank of over 1,000 questions. This is just a sampling of 100. Okay, random sampling of 100, so they can mix and match whatever they want. Okay, everybody good? All the moaning and groaning over for 76. 77, it has been determined that a free air opening of 152 square inches is required. You have it grilled. So you take a 152 square inches and divide it by 0.75, and you'll get 203 square inches.
Fuck. I did the calculation, I didn't trust it.
Okay, 76. Which of the following statements is correct? It's C, a draft hood will prevent a downdraft from entering the appliance. 79, what type of B vent, when a type B vent passes through a floor or ceiling, okay, it has to have a fire stop spacer, that's the building code, A. 80, BW vent shall only be used with an approved recessed wall furnace. 81, who is responsible at the time of the appliance installation? to ensure proper adequate air. B, the installer. 82, when a vent connector is required to be reduced in size to that of either the flue collar or the draft hood, it be D at the appliance flue collar or draft hood outlet.
Wow, I fucking found out.
83, a type B vent shall only be used with an appliance that is certified with a draft hood or certified and marked for use with type B vent. Okay, water heater. Oh, let's draw this one out.
Yeah, me too, buddy. I'll take
Okay, a water heater with a draft divert. Oh, connected water heater with a draft divert. Connected to a masonry chimney using single wall vent connector. Single wall vent connector into our masonry chimney. Okay, the vent connector rise is 2 feet. Water heater ductwork, masonry rise. And the height is 25 feet. And the water heater is 7,000 BTUs.
Oh, I thought you did. Yes, I'm 84.
And will be located 3 feet from the chimney. 3 feet from the chimney. Okay, determine the vent size and the maximum input of the vent if the house is 25 years old. Okay, so they don't mention about anything about exhaust fans. The house is 25 years old, so it's going to be loose construction. Okay. So I have a single appliance that is located going into a masonry chimney, so I'm not familiar with that, so I'm gonna look in my book, and it's gonna tell me what table I should look at. So here's table, figure C6, shows a single appliance with single vent connector into a masonry chimney, so I'm going to use table C6. Table C6, tower line chimney, that's what I've got, single wall vent, single category 1 appliance. Okay, so I think I'm on the right one. Okay. So I got a height of 25 feet, so it's down here, so I just move that up. Okay. And I have a lateral of 3 feet. This 2-foot rise right here that's just useless information because single appliances use lateral, multiple appliances use the rise. So I've got 25 feet, 3 feet lateral. So with the 3 feet lateral, do I go to 2 or do I go to 5? What's the worst case scenario? What will slow the gases down more?
longer.
Go down to the 5. Okay, so I go across to 50,000 BQs equal to or greater than. Okay, and I've got 71 right here. Okay, so I got 4 inches and 71,000 BTUs. Okay, so 25 feet, 5-foot lateral.
71?
And 71 under natural maximum, because it didn't say anything other than a loose house, no air exhausting equipment. Okay, so let's see if we got 4 inches and 71 as the answer. Okay, so they're showing 4 inches and 67. So how did they get 4 inches and 67? So let's take a look at 67.
Oh man, that's how I feel.
So let's take a look back. Okay.
Bend over, you sweetheart.
Okay, so they've got it right here, 20 and 65. Okay, now, this is misleading because this is from the old code. And the old code did not have a 25 height. It went from 20 to 30. So if the old code went from 20 to 30, you would move to the 20. If you move to the 20 and follow the 5, you'll see that it does match. Okay, so I can't say whether they've updated it or they haven't updated it. Okay, I can't tell you anything more than what you would do if you got that question. Okay, this question right here, I won't count on your test. Okay, because this is the one that was based on the old code book.
So what number was that one on?
84?
Yeah, I'm bringing this back.
84, right?
Scratch that fucker.
I see that shit.
Okay, so that was question number 84.
Back to 22.
Okay, so that'll
Back
be
to
your
22.
freebie question.
22. Let's go for a win.
Give another
There's a
number
good
away,
man.
Gary.
Good man.
Okay, so
Give another
that
number
one.
away.
the idea is to get more right than you have wrong.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
you are gonna get some wrong because of, if they haven't updated their test bank or they've added something really wonky, okay, you can expect to get some questions wrong.
Why can't they just release
Gary,
it?
how did on that one, you went to the worst case scenario where the previous question, similar, you went down instead of up, like, so the,
Okay? See me after class and I'll go the down to the up.
yeah, okay.
I'll just keep going and we'll review this after we're done. Okay, everybody good? Okay, 85. When a gas-fired appliance is vented into a chimney flue serving an appliance which burns a solid fuel in a commercial or industrial, it is A, through a separate flue opening above the flue pipe connection from the other appliance. 86, a water heater, 60,000 BTU water heater with no draft diverters to be installed in a closet-type enclosure, and all air is to be taken from indoors.
Fucking honest.
What size opening do you need? 60 square inches, lower opening only, C. Okay, the same scenario, the air is in the house, the air that's in the house has to get into the closet, gotta have an opening. How big should the opening be? 1 square inch for every 1,000 BTUs. Now, it does say in the code that if the appliances do not have draft control devices, you only need a combustion air opening, 6 to 18 inches off the floor. But if you have multiple appliances and one of those appliances have a draft diverter or draft hood, then that's when you need 2 openings of the same size. One at the bottom for combustion, one at the top for ventilation.
This doesn't count.
Okay, 87, how are electronic air cleaners wired in parallel with the fan motor?
Parallel. Let's see.
How many times should disposable filters be cleaned? Okay, none. That's why they're disposable. 89, the purpose of air proving switch in electronic air cleaners to ensure the fan is running. B, have to have airflow. 90, what is the most common transformer required for a power humidifier? 120 primary to 24 volts secondary. 91, what happens to the system in the cooling mode if the pre-filtered electronic air cleaner gets plugged with dirt? The cooling coil will frost over. B. 92, plate type humidifiers only operate A all the time the fan is running, causing air movement. They don't evaporate moisture if there's no air movement. 93, the belt on a blower is too tight, the motor current will increase. 93D. 94, fresh air fan control, if fresh air is fan controlled and is used for combustion air, it must be interlocked with the gas valve. 95, the pressure reading of 14.7 pounds per square inch absolute is equivalent to 0 pounds per square inch gauge. Convection, heat transfer through fluids. B, if too many lava rocks are placed on the rack of a barbecue, the burner will burn out prematurely. A, 98, the mantle of a gas lamp. D, changes a blue flame to a luminous flame. What type of protection does a range require if it is certified for zero side clearance from combustible materials? What protection is required? Has this been certified to be right next to something combustible? 10, how long may a corrugated flexible connector be when installed on a range? B, 6 feet. Okay, there you go.
Butts.
I'm gonna challenge that 99.
There you go.
Like dead on the butt.
Okay.
36, what was
So
36?
don't forget to review all your modules, module S.
What was 36?
Workbooks,